Alright guys, so we're going to be doing another comic book review, and this is from another comic that was sent to me by my good friend Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid, and this one is a beast of a book, 10 Lives, Deaths of Wolverine, or X Lives, Deaths of Wolverine. This is basically, this was kind of a Wolverine-centric X-Men event that was pretty self-contained. It was basically a pretty self-contained story that was written by Ben Percy, and is essentially the story that this is like the turning point in the Krakoan saga. Like, this is the big turning point in the whole story of Krakoa, really. Like, that's kind of the big thing here that we're taking away from this, is that this is the big turning point. This book is the big turning point for Krakoa. So this is a compilation of two 5-part miniseries, 10 Lives of Wolverine and 10 Deaths of Wolverine. But it's all really one big 10-part interconnected story. I don't know why they made it, like, I guess not to make it 1 of 10. Like, I think that was kind of the idea, is not make it like, hey, this is 10 Deaths of Wolverine, part 1 of 10. I feel like that was kind of the idea, to make it come out faster. But yeah, I hope people realize that they're really, like, you need to read both to understand this book. So what is 10 Lives, Deaths of Wolverine? 10 Lives, Deaths of Wolverine is kind of two stories moving at the same pace. On one end, you have Logan, who has been tasked by Xavier to go back in time and more or less take over, astral project his mind into his past self's body, into protecting the Xavier bloodline from Omega Red, who has been moving like a psychic parasite throughout time, trying to kill the Xaviers for trying to make him into a weapon for X-Force. And he's getting help from Mikhail Rasputin. Yeah, you guys remember Mikhail? A lot of people forget that, yeah, it's the elder, it's Colossus's older brother, who's also crazy. God, does anyone not have a functional family in the X-Men universe? I don't think so. There's not, like, a really functional family in the X-Men universe. In no way, shape, or form. Either everyone may be together, but there's always, like, a level of, like, trauma behind it all. Like, there's no, don't even get me started on the Summers family, guys. Like, don't even try to get me started on the Summers family, for real. So yeah, anyway, so that's one half of the story of Wolverine going throughout different timeline, throughout his history to protect the Xavier bloodline. The other half focuses on Moira McTaggart, who has been betrayed by Krakoa and is now embracing the whole Phalanx thing. That's the end game, is the Phalanx storyline that we're building to. And yeah, this is like the first building block into End of X. So, yeah, what did I think of this story? It's a lot of fun. Benjamin Percy clearly knows how to write Wolverine. He also really Benjamin Percy definitely, absolutely 100% knows his history on Wolverine, because this dude, literally, this is a celebration of who Wolverine is. Like, this whole comic is a giant celebration of Wolverine. From like, all the weird stuff, all the other stuff, because he could have easily retconned and ignored a lot of it. He brings up Romulus from the god-awful storyline involving him, and how Daken came to be. He brings up that, yeah, Wolverine had a venom symbiote in his body from a obscure point in Donny Cates' run called Venom, which is a bunch of Vietnam soldiers who had symbiotes. Yeah, that was a whole thing from Donny Cates, and he brings that up and he makes it a point. He brings up Team X. He brings up Wolverine's life in Canada. He brings up all of it, and he makes it all interconnected and all important. That's what I really like, is that Percy could have easily done the whole thing of, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm just going to go out through history and retcon and just be like this. Because there's a lot of dumb shit that happened in Wolverine's past. Like, there's a lot of bad comics that are all like, oh, this is Wolverine's past. it's really dumb. It's it's written really badly, and it really makes us hate it. But Percy was all like, "Nah, fam, this is how you do it. Like, this is how you make this comic work. Like, this is how you do this book, and this is how you make everything connected and make it cool." So I like that. X Deaths of Wolverine, 10 Deaths of Wolverine is more or less Moira being turned into the Phalanx, and also dealing with a Wolverine from the future who is infected with a Phalanx energy, like Phalanx bio disease. That is, he's like the Terminator. Well, this Wolverine from the future is the Terminator. Like, let's get that shit out of the way. He is 100% supposed to be the Terminator. And yeah, the Moira stuff, yeah, I do admit that there is some stuff that I do and don't like from the Krakoan era of X-Men. I'm not going to be one of these people who I see all the time crow about how bad the Krakoan era X-Men is. It's not all bad. Let's get that shit out of the way. Also, if you're going to crow about it here, know that I just do not care. I fully acknowledge that there's not a lot of good stuff. There is some bad stuff in Krakoan era X-Men, like what they've done with Beast and other stuff, and also make some of the X-Men characters pretty unlikable. But I'm gonna admit there's also some good stuff too. Like there's gold in them Dar Hills. I'm not one of these people who's like, Krakoan era X-Men dumb, I don't like it. I'm not gonna be like waving my arms up and down like an inflatable tube man in front of my keyboard going, X-Men Krakoa era stupid. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, the Moira stuff is a little infuriating, but then again, I think, was Moira or Taggart like, it's not. It is like, I like how how they've made Moira, but also like they've gone full villain with her, and it's kind of weird. So I don't know. So it is like, on one hand, I really like. I kind of treated the X death stories kind of like, all right, Moira, we get it. You're mad at the X-Men and all that, with justifiably, mind you, justifiably mad. But also, can we get back to Wolverine in time? If that's what this book really was Wolverine just jumping through time, fighting, you know. Also, I love Omega Red's whole thing is like when he possesses a body, he makes that, like, you know how Omega Red has those tendrils? Well, in here, he makes people's spines turn into the tendrils. So it's like this body horror kind of thing where he makes like spinal whips out of their arms, and it's like, oh my god, that's horrifying. So I really do like that. And it's always cool to see Omega Red. He's always a cool Wolverine villain to see. So all in all, yeah, if you have the money, this is $50, and this is the paperback. Yeah, but Chris, I'd like to thank you once again for sending me this book. I would say if you are following the Krakoan era of X-Men and with Wolverine, yeah, give this a shot. But you're gonna have to really bone up on your Krakoan era X-Men with this one. You can't just pick this one up on willy-nilly. Anyway. So if you've read 10 Lives Deaths of Wolverine, let me know what you guys know. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. And Chris, thank you once again for sending me that book and the others. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.